I would like to dedicate this week's intro to the one and only Velveteen Dream. Na 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 na. Hey, goodbye. Na 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 na. Hey, fuck you, Velveteen Dream. With that out of the way, welcome back to another episode of the Cobra podcast.
That was
Very happy.
awesome.
That was great.
Yeah, very happy with that news from this week. Welcome back. Oh boy, it's going to be a good one. So this week, myself and Chris are joined by the one and only Jabroni.
Hey, what's up?
He's-
Glad to be
he's
back.
here.
Our very first guest.
And I'm
Our
here
first-
for
Well, dating all the way back to episode 1. He is
And-
back, ladies and gentlemen.
this is
and he's
10
back.
now.
Yeah, he's back for the 10th anniversary. Hell yeah.
I know. And then while I'm
Is it
listening
first?
to the product, you guys have a system going now. It's way
Yeah.
better than the first one. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
We managed to wake up the Canadian. I'm loving it. So I'm just gonna get into the news here. There was some releases this week. we
yeah.
we got rid of some dead weight. Dream is gone. Thank the Lord.
Finally.
Yeah.
I want to say people are hating on Triple H for not getting rid of him like before now.
Well,
I
it's the
think
same
this-
thing with... I'm sorry, it's the same thing with Drake Wirtz, which we'll also get into him being released in a second.
Yeah, there was a
Spoiler
lot of
alert.
heat on both of them.
But the thing
Um,
is, you can't just up and fire somebody
no,
over
you can't-
allegations.
you
That's a
can't
lawsuit
fire
waiting to
someone.
happen.
Oh yeah,
You
no,
can't
that's
fire
unfair
someone
dismissal.
over
You
what
can't,
they
you
believe
can't
in.
fire someone because you dislike them. I don't
Drake
know if
Wirtz is a
people are
terrible
aware of
person.
that.
I'm glad to see him gone, but like...
Oh yeah, no, I'm
Mhm.
glad Dream is gone. I'm glad Wirtz is gone. I'll run through some of the other names as well. This isn't all of them, just a few. There's Alexander Wolf,
Man,
Ezra
massive.
Judge,
That was shocking to see that, especially after NXT.
Jessamine
yeah.
Duke
Well,
is gone too.
That was also a shocker, Jessamine Duke, for me
Yeah.
at least.
No.
And then the
unfortunately.
other referee was Jake Clemens. He's gone too.
In case you don't know who Jay Clemens is, he was a referee in Evolve. And if you remember a year ago, there was like an 8-man tag or a 6-man tag to end Raw. This was during the Messiah time. It was like the referee that like got powerbombed through a table by Kevin Owens because he was like a Messiah follower. He was a Rollins
Right.
follower. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. I remember.
Okay.
That's where he's
okay.
from.
And the other big piece of news this week is WWE is going back on the road. We all knew this was
You
coming
forgot,
at
you
some
forgot a
point.
couple releases.
Yeah, no, I said I was only just going through a few there. There was a list
okay.
of releases. But starting July 16th, WWE is going back to live events. I'll read from the little press release thing here. WWE will return to live event touring with a 25-city schedule through Labor Day. The tour will debut this July in Texas with a trio of shows. SmackDown is
SmackDown,
coming
Money
from
in
the
the Bank,
Toyota Center in
Raw.
Houston. Money in the Bank is coming from the Dickies Arena in Fort Worth. And Raw is coming from American Airlines Center in Dallas. There will then be more live events and at later
It's going to be
date.
like a 25-city tour, right?
Yeah. I imagine most of them are going to be in Texas. Go figure.
Florida.
Yeah, Florida and Texas. Oh boy. Those massive red dots on the map. They're going to announce more dates in the coming weeks. It'll be good to have fans back again past
Oh, yeah.
WrestleMania. WrestleMania was a heap of fun.
R.I.P.
They
to
got rid of
Jake and
Velveteen
Thunderdome.
Dream just in time. So when NXT gets like full crowds back, we're gonna have less booing, which is fun.
Yeah. They released Velveteen Dream as school's going out. Actually, I don't know how smart that is now.
That's a really bad idea. Yeah, now he's got free time on his hands. So this week I'll go into some results from this week. Last Sunday was Backlash.
Whoa.
Resoundingly decent show.
I loved it.
Nothing
I loved
nothing
it.
particularly offensive apart from that match. We'll get to that. So
You know, I'd like to say real quick, WWE nowadays is really terrible with building up pay-per-views. But then those same
definitely.
pay-per-views turn out to be awesome. Like,
The pay-per-views they build the least turn out to be the best ones.
yeah. Like, oh
So I'll go through the card
God.
here quickly. Sheamus defeated Ricochet by pinfall on the kickoff. Rhea Ripley defeated Charlotte and Asuka to retain her women's championship.
As
Rey
she
and
should.
Dominic Mysterio, as she definitely should have. Rey and Dominic Mysterio won the tag titles from the Dirty Dogs.
As they
My
should.
favorites, as they should. Damian Priest defeated The Miz in what was a commercial for the new Batista movie.
Let's go.
Hey, Jabroni, what's your
Movie.
opinion on that
Yeah,
movie?
Jabroni, please tell us about the new Batista movie because I haven't
Okay,
seen it.
so the lumberjack zombie match, bad, 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 bad. Army of the Dead, decent. If you want to see Dave Bautista, who I liked, who I was watching it, I'm thinking, is he the third guy to break the glass ceiling of Hollywood as a wrestler? Like, he's out here killing zombies for 2.5 hours, and I'm enjoying it. And I'm trying to hop through it without spoiling it in case any of you guys want to bless yourselves with watching it. No, I'm not.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna
Not
watch it now
that good.
because you
No, it's
said.
good. Yeah, it's good. It's a good. The 2.5 hours was all right, but then again, I think it is kind of overkill for a zombie movie. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that two and a half
that
hours is a long
yes.
film.
And that's the thing. I was able to sit through the Snyder cut of the Justice League for 4 hours, but that was different. And then I
Jesus.
had to I had to go through this in 2 sittings because I'm like, zombies 2 hours, 2.5, not my thing. But the first
I
after
can tolerate like an hour and a half of a zombie movie, but
that's
it's like
exactly what I
there's
did.
only so many scenes you can do in a zombie movie.
Exactly. So I watched I would say the back half of the first hour on into the second is the best part of it. If you can get through the first hour, because the first hour is a lot of build and stuff. And amazing intro though, like intro into the movie. I liked it. Gave me Zombieland vibes. So
So Jabroni, I just want to ask something. Based on your your location, can you please tell me how sober were you during this movie?
oh, not at all.
Yeah, that's why it was good. Yeah.
Exactly. Literally. I should have started off with that. Yeah, but so
So I was
it's may
high
not
and I
gonna be
enjoyed the
so
Batista movie.
the inebriated levels would help, but of course if you can't where you're located, of course you can't follow your rules. But
Yeah, follow the law, guys.
follow the law, guys. Yeah, and
Don't break the law just for a Dave Batista film.
it's not worth it. What would be my rating of it? I guess since we're doing okay, yeah, we would do the inebriated jabroni scale, which would give it honestly, it'd be up there with like a 7, 8.
Right.
But
Oh my God.
sober would be honestly a 5, 6. It's a
Right.
decent zombie movie, but honestly, the runtime does drag, especially in the first hour. Like the second hour, when stuff actually happens and they're achieving the goals and stuff, like it's kind of good.
Mm.
But the road getting there was meh.
Right. Okay.
So this was Jabroni's Army of the Dead review. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you very much for that.
Uh,
Let's move on with Backlash. Bianca Belair retained the title in a match against Bayley.
Really weird finish.
Yeah.
How was
Really
that?
weird.
What was that finish? I did not watch.
She rolled up Bailey using her hair to
Oh yeah.
pull her leg down.
An interesting one, but given Bianca Belair's whole thing is like long hair, like,
Yeah.
I get it.
Bailey was
Lashley
trying to use
retained
it against her the
Strowman
whole match.
and
but, yeah.
McIntyre. Yeah,
Kind of-
yeah.
Kind of think about it. I don't really like that because that's the second pay-per-view in a row she's kind of using her hair. Like the Sasha whip was cool, but
Oh, that
Yeah.
was really cool. That was
That was
brutal.
I
brutal.
The
really
sound that
enjoyed
made.
it. Yeah, the sound was amazing, and it was a good finish, that one. But I just using it again, just meh.
Yeah.
Don't care for it.
I am all for Bianca Belair using her hair as a bullwhip,
Oh yeah,
but just not every pay-per-view,
Oh,
please. Lashley retained against Strowman and McIntyre. Disappointed, with the spot of going through the screen. There was an opportunity for Corey Graves to say his infamous line. He didn't, which I'm very sad about.
Yeah, but other than that, the match was actually a banger.
The match was decent, yeah.
I was surprised. Like, what? I was enjoying it.
My
Um,
stream was buffering a lot, so I could not enjoy it.
you mean the WWE Network was
It
buffering a
actually
lot?
it was my legal stream. I was just gonna get to that because we still
Yeah.
have the network here. So we still
Joke's on you. I used Peacock and I didn't disconnect once.
That's new for you. Um,
Yeah, it is. You're right. You're right.
Roman Reigns versus Cesaro, and with Roman choking out Cesaro for the win. I
Clean.
love
100%
finishes.
clean.
Yeah, I love these
Yeah,
finishes
that
where
happy
like
was cool.
and someone gets put in a submission, but instead of giving up, they just pass out.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of
And
that.
Cesaro
More of those, please.
Fought to get out of it. But like, he just
Oh, yeah.
passed out. I like that. But like, man, I really want the rematch, and I really want Cesaro to be the one to beat Roman.
Yeah. I think Cesaro's probably the best one on the roster at the minute. If we were looking at people who might make a possible return, Brock Lesnar comes to mind. I'm starting to miss Brock Lesnar, which I never thought I'd say.
Same actually. Think about it.
But yeah, he's Cesaro's probably the best choice at the minute, I think. So I'm gonna go on to the main shows now.
Yeah.
Raw. Aye. MVP comes out and issues an open challenge against Lashley for later in the night. It is assumed that this challenge is for the championship. We'll get into
Assume.
that in a minute.
You know what happens when you assume.
Yeah. I made an ass out of you and me. Kofi Kingston defeated Randy Orton via roll up. Sheamus defeated Ricochet in a very entertaining match. That match was very
Oh
good.
man, I love Sheamus and I love Ricochet, but especially I love that match.
Yeah. Asuka defeated Charlotte Flair via roll up.
That match went like 20 minutes, and it was really good.
Damian Priest defeated John Morrison in a regular lumberjack match. This one wasn't sponsored by Netflix.
No.
The most
Dave
interesting
Bautista.
part of that match was Nikki Cross was one of the lumberjacks.
Oh, definitely. I love Nikki
I've
Cross.
missed her. Yeah.
I really want her to just randomly get a title shot, like for no reason, and I'm down for it.
Yeah. I just want to say I'm missing some of these segments because they were terrible.
Yeah.
But then we'll go on to the main event. A few people had said in backstage vignettes that they were gonna answer Lashley's challenge. However, Kofi Kingston comes out and it's revealed that the match was in fact not for the championship. MVP, how dare you? MVP had never explicitly said it was for the championship. Near the end of the
True.
match, McIntyre came out and used a referee distraction, a spot I'm all too fed up of, to hit Lashley with MVP's cane. Kofi used a roll up
Hey.
for the win. That makes 3.
And one in the
3,
main event.
the Holy
Yeah.
Trinity.
Yeah, the holy trinity of roll ups on Raw.
Honestly, I would just like to say I'm down for Kofi Mania 2. I'm down.
I think it would be interesting.
Random time for it, but I'm in.
It's an
Yeah,
interesting
that
time.
was-
Yeah, I'd maybe wait until SummerSlam if you're gonna go for a Kofi Mania thing.
Yeah.
They'd introduce the crowd, bring the crowd back again because
Yeah, bring the crowd
back
back with a very happy moment and just hope they don't turn on
Feel
Kofi.
good win.
and hope. Yeah, exactly.
Those fucking smarks. NXT. Tony Storm pinned Zoe Stark. After the match, Frankie Monet came out and talked about a debut match next week. Now, the best part of NXT. Index.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
Indy and Candice are at a spa getting massages. They are talking about Dexter, and Indy agrees with Candice that he is not the one for her and that he is a freak. The camera then pans to show that Loomis is in fact doing Indy's massage. Later in the show,
Heartbreaks
Indy
for
finds
him.
out that Candice LeRae had bought the flowers and she goes off to find Dexter. It looks to me like Indy and Candice will probably be breaking up soon. I'm all here for this. I'm
Yeah, I'm
enjoying this a
down.
lot, actually.
I love Candice LeRae, but Index makes me feel good. It makes me happy. That was a weird sentence, but just continue, Daniel.
Index makes me feel good. There was a vignette promoting Cross versus Balor. It featured a few people weighing in on the match. I thought it was quite a good promo package.
Oh yeah,
it
was really.
It was an
So,
interesting promo package for
Is
sure.
this coming Tuesday? Is this match?
I believe so.
Yup.
Yeah.
That's cool. I'll be watching that.
And then Jake Atlas defeated Cameron Grimes. after Ted DiBiase came out to as a distraction. I'm enjoying the Grimes DiBiase stuff. It's quite good.
Me too.
Um,
Grimes is so good at Cameron Grimes is so good at just being a goofy heel. It's awesome.
yeah. Hold on, I got to open a window. It's too hot in here.
Okay.
Chris, you have the doc, right? You wanna talk about the next match?
Oh yeah, I'll talk about this next match. So Killian Dane defeated Alexander Wolf. It was a battle of the former Sanity members or whatever. Anyways, after the match, Imperium turned on Wolf. They kicked him out of Imperium and apparently kicked him out of NXT. So I'm
Yeah,
interested to see what happens with Imperium next.
Yeah, I am too. That's interesting. Especially, it's sad that it happened due to someone's release, but it does kind of give me an interest in it.
I should say,
In all fairness,
Wolf's contract isn't up until the 15th of next
I
month.
was literally just about to say that. Well, no, his contract was going to be up anyways.
Yeah, his contract was going to
What
be
was
up
it?
anyways, but he made it to the release. So,
Yeah.
I guess he wasn't going to re-sign. I hope he does some interesting stuff on the indies. But yeah, so next match,
I'll go.
Legado del Fantasma versus. Oh, okay. You want to do it?
Yeah, I want to keep going here.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Legado del Fantasma versus Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher.
Tommaso
This match was
Ciampa
really
and,
good.
Margaret Thatcher. Back from
I
the
actually
dead.
really like the team of Ciampa and Thatcher. And this match was an absolute banger. However, near the start of the match, I'm pretty sure Raul Mendoza, his nose is shattered. It looked brutal, and he continued the match.
There was a lot
he was
of blood,
Iron Man did. There was a lot of blood, and he just kept going. I love Raul Mendoza. He's a god. But anyways, yeah, Grizzly Young Vets came out and they attacked Ciampa while the referee's back was turned. And then Legado del Fantasma, they hit the finisher, they won. And I'm pretty sure we're getting MSK versus Legado for the titles in sometime in the next 2 weeks.
I'm good with that.
I'm happy with that too. That match is gonna go crazy.
It's gonna be killer.
Yeah. Anyways, Saray defeated Aaliyah. I really like Saray. I'm so happy she's competing in NXT now. She feels like a big deal, and I'm so happy about it. However, I'm really not happy with how Aaliyah's pretty much just been a jobber in NXT since 2016. I feel bad.
Yeah.
I'm happy she's got something with the Robert Stone brand, and I really loved the Robert Stone brand.
Yeah.
But they're not doing anything with it. Their momentum died after.
The Robert Stone brand was very interesting at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then it kind of simmered off, and I don't know. They got to make it exciting again, man.
Yeah. All right, I'm really excited to talk about this next match. So we saw the tag team debut of Hit Row, Ashante Theodonis, and Top Dollar. So they defeated Tony Nese and Arya Daivari. Really weird to see them on regular NXT instead of 205 Live. But yeah, Adonis and Top Dollar really just got to show off their skills. And Top Dollar won the match with the Rude Bomb. I popped over that. I popped so hard over that. I was so excited to see it. So yeah, what y'all thinking about Hit Row?
It could be exciting. Could be quite exciting.
Yeah, as a non-regular NXT watcher, they interest me as well. That's one of the things that get me excited. Freshens up. It seems more freshened up about them.
NXT
I was a little
does
mixed
need a
on
bit of
them.
freshening up.
And that that does give me the vibe that they're starting to get that idea that they need some more freshening up. Said that 7 times now, but I can't think of anything else.
Gotta freshen up.
They're doing a lot of the same stuff.
But yes, I do like Hit Row. Hit Row is interesting, and I hope they do go further. And
yeah. After that squash match, Swerve hinted at going after the North American Championship, which is really going to be interesting considering this next match. Bronson Reed defeated Johnny Gargano in a steel cage match to win the NXT North American Championship. Reed finally did it.
So happy.
Thick boy.
Yeah.
Oh, when I seen him do a swanton on Twitter, I was like, yeah, I like this guy.
Yeah.
I'm so happy. It was a good match. I enjoyed it.
He's going to be a really good champion. I'm so happy.
For sure.
He's
going to be brilliant.
How long do you think it lasts?
Hopefully a while.
I hope so.
I'll give him a couple months, to be honest.
Months.
Before we're talking danger of losing.
Yeah, hopefully a couple months, but I could see him dropping it to Johnny Gargano next week. AEW.
Oh, I have some stuff. Oh, I have some stuff to say about this.
Christian Cage defeated Matt Sydal in a throwback to 2009.
Yeah.
Oh boy, it really felt like watching Raw again when I
Oh,
was like 5.
halfway through a Raw show, yeah.
Yeah. Christian versus Evan Bourne was an interesting one. John Moxley and Eddie Kingston defeated the Acclaimed.
That was I
I
enjoyed
love
that.
the Acclaimed.
Acclaimed.
I
I love
think
the
I
Acclaimed.
think I'm missing some stuff off my summary here. I must have just skipped the stuff. Hikaru Shida
I don't think
defeated
so.
Rebel. The Inner Circle did a promo about Stadium Stampede. It was a pretty good promo. It
I
was
enjoyed it. Same
it
with
was, it was
the
decent.
Pinnacle promo. Or sorry if you were getting to that. Sorry, but I enjoyed that one as well.
I don't think that's on here. So yeah.
Okay, yeah, I enjoyed that promo as well. So it actually gave Sean Spears a little bit of character for a change. Like
Yeah.
The most two-dimensional man on the entire roster.
Yes, they made him
Because
angry,
man, ever since
and
he
I
got
like
released from
him.
WWE, man, it's just been a charisma vacuum.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I like him as
I
this
still
loose.
feel like chanting 10 whenever he comes on my
The
screen.
only thing that makes me not is his theme song. But besides that, I agree.
I think the biggest power move that AEW could have done would like made his theme song. It's like 11, 11,
11,
11,
11, 7.
9, 9, 9.
11.
Serena Deeb defeated Red Velvet to retain the NWA Women's Championship.
AEW
Oh, I
is
watched
out
that match.
here-
That was Serena Deeb rules.
AEW is
Yeah.
out here doing more for NWA than NWA is doing more for it on Power.
That's true.
Anthony Agogo defeated Austin Gunn. Again.
Okay, is this where I could talk shit about Cody?
Oh, please.
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
I
Floor's
have all
yours.
the
Okay.
time in the world for Cody slander. Please go ahead. I'm gonna eat some strawberries and listen to this. It's
All
gonna be
right, okay. I'm gonna start way, way, way at the beginning. Okay, for this I gotta pull up Cage Match, and oh, I already got it. Okay,
good.
cool.
Oh boy.
All right, so we started off with the Sammy Guevara match, which yeah, you started off and it ended AEW with the Inner Circle. I guess that is important. You go into the Dustin Rhodes, so you go. Oh yeah, then you go directly into the Chris Jericho shit where it happens if Cody loses. I have to sorry, if not COVID. Just want to clarify.
COVID.
But then you get into the Cody being like, "Oh, if I'm not gonna win the title, I don't want to fight for it again." Which where we're at now, book them into a corner because Cody's doing fucking bullshit right now. And
He's
then
coming out and pretending he's like some social justice warrior. He's like
exactly, and
a
we're
champion of human rights.
literally. And then we get into the first steel cage match with Wardlow, which I did enjoy but I think that was just more the aesthetic of it being the first steel cage match. And
Yeah.
then the MJF match at Revolution, I think that was way too early. You could have had way more or runs with that of Cody not
Yeah.
being sure of MJF being like, is he good or not? Like, I think there was way more. And then you have the TNT title tournament, which Cody fucking destroyed and defeats Lance Archer at Double or Nothing, which I still hate.
Killed all of Lance Archer's momentum.
Cody
All
built
of it.
Literally,
himself.
thank you.
Yeah.
Literally, it did. It killed. And to this day, I'm worried he's gonna lose Double or Nothing against Miro, and I don't know what I'm gonna do with that because Lance Archer destroyed his way through that tournament too. And like I really thought we were gonna get the Brody Lee match early, but I didn't know the Brody Lee match was gonna happen. But you know what I mean, like a match like that with Lance Archer.
Yeah.
So then we get then we get the open challenge, which yeah we get Warhorse, we get Eddie Kingston, we get Ricky Starks and stuff, but they didn't need that. They could have debuted on their own thing. Like Warhorse, like could have like I get the Warhorse match was just a one off, but like Eddie Kingston could have debuted differently. Same with Ricky Starks. And oh yeah, then Matt Cardona comes for a little bit. Yeah, and then my favorite AEW moment is by far the Brody Lee squash match, and
Oh, that was awesome.
I give more credit to Brody Lee than that, and of where I was at the time, and me not expecting it. So I give Cody like I'll say 5% credit in my book for that because that was all fucking Brody Lee and me being like, holy shit, we're actually going off with him. He's not losing to Moxley anymore. Like we're going with Brody. And but then he loses in the dog collar match, which obviously could have been different given the circumstances. So I'm just gonna go over that. We'll see what would happen there. And then we're in the team.
I'm very disappointed. that we didn't get to see more of Brody Lee.
Same.
I think that's one of the modern tragedies in wrestling is that
Exactly. That's
because he
why,
was just about to do it, man.
literally, he was
He
on the
was just about to go to the moon.
exactly. That match had me hooked to
And
the moon with him. Like I was ready to
yeah,
go wherever he went.
even I was getting behind him, and like
Mhm.
I didn't watch AEW at the time, but I'm like, yeah, he's got I never saw this like entertaining side of him in the Fed. It's like
Exactly. Yeah, like this monster
I'm getting
side. Like,
behind Brody Lee, and
mhm.
and then we lost him, and it's like, well,
It's terrible, and that's why I like think
yeah,
maybe it could have been different if he wasn't, because who knows the situation at the time he dropped it to Cody. Who knows what was going on in his personal life? So maybe it dropped a little
yeah,
bit too early. Like, so who knows what could have happened? But it's just it's one of the terrible, terrible things because it was a shock to the whole wrestling world,
yeah. I'm
regardless
still a
of
little shocked by that.
yes, yes, I am too. It is.
Yeah.
But tough the mood. We'll go back to some Cody slander.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we hate Cody Rhodes. Can I
Yeah.
just say, I'm gonna let you continue with this. The
Yes.
main event was the Young Bucks versus the Varsity Blondes. I hate the Young Bucks.
Oh
Please
yeah,
continue.
them too,
True.
them too. They suck. They didn't need to turn.
Yeah.
They had that face turn a couple months ago. Unneeded bullshit. Okay, Cody had the thing with Shaq. Where did it go? Nowhere. Shaq's still unknown after he left a ambulance. Like the bump was cool. I think it was Shaq who took the table. Yeah, that was cool. But besides that, that went nowhere. And now we're at the factory thing, and I do like the factory. I like the idea of people like, hey, Cody, we don't like you because you're running this too much. Like you're an asshole. Like they're realizing he's an
Yeah.
asshole and they're under his wing. So like I do like the idea of it, but now it's going into some bullshit country thing that's unnecessary. Like if it was faction versus faction still, I'd be cool with that because I don't know how you guys feel, but I like AEW with their factions. I like how everyone has someone and how the tag team division doesn't really
It's
feel it's like
it's a
Yeah.
good thing.
it's
I enjoy it. I think.
it's different. That's what I like about it than the Fed. It's different. Like it's you have everyone has pretty much a faction they can go
Yeah.
to or a friend. Like but now this is some
It,
bullshit
it, it opens up a
country.
lot of story
Literally, thank you.
possibilities.
Yeah, yes it does. Yes it does. And then this flag, like we were in the chat and Chop, shout out Chop, joked about it earlier. And he said this should just be a flag match, and I kind of want that at this point, because if you're gonna make it about countries and this stuff, and if Cody's coming out with the American flag draped around him, just hugging it and stuff, why not? It's gonna be more entertaining. Because at this point, it really
I
feels
think
like
that's the
Cody's
funniest
on
thing
his
ever.
way to. It really feels like Cody's on his way to just beat Anthony Ogogo, and it's really terrible. And it just feels that way
He's
because of
gonna
the
beat
story
a
they're
go
telling.
go. Yeah,
It's
and he did
and
it
it's
all for America.
exactly, and that with the story they're telling, it feels like he's just gonna go slay the monster at Double or Nothing. Like, and the crowd's gonna cheer him, and he's gonna get that good pop he's been looking for a whole year. And because he's Cody
They're gonna
fucking
play
Rhodes,
Star
man.
Spangled Banner. It's gonna be amazing. He's gonna get up on the announce
He's
table.
gonna he's gonna want to do the Hogan pose, but he's gonna stop because then he's Cody
Yeah,
Rhodes.
he's gonna want to do the Hogan pose, but he's gonna stop himself because he's having mixed babies.
Exactly. Yeah. Then he's gonna cut a promo trying to. He's gonna hope a terrorist leader dies that day, so he can announce it. So he can go on the announce table. So and so's dead. Then he can raise the flag like
The
Cena, grab
United
the
States
title.
has captured and compromised to an end. Benjamin Net, no. Uh, Bashar al-Assad, no. Let's, let's move on before one of us gets killed.
But okay, yes, I'm
Yeah.
just trying to say Cody's been doing fuck all, and I don't care if the elite are fighting within each other. It's a company. Do what's best for your company. And Cody's not doing what's best for the company. He's doing fuck all. That makes me hate him.
Are
Same
you
with the
saying
Young
he's
Bucks
not
right
doing
now.
what's best for business?
Exactly. Yeah, we need
I
a
would just like to clarify there, for the sake of my own survival. Both Bashar al-Assad and Benjamin Netanyahu are not terrorists. Not terrorists. Okay.
I love the claims. I love the yeah, I love-
Thank you.
And
so free
that
Thank
was
you.
a
SmackDown. I didn't watch SmackDown, and the one I want it down for the last like maybe 9 weeks. Okay, the one episode I don't watch, Alistair Black, my favorite member of the NXT roster, David, the man,
Huge.
the myth, the legend, SmackDown.
House. Oh
Please, for
man,
the love of
didn't
God,
know that.
WWE,
Okay.
give the man a better guitar amp, because
I
that
had no idea who this guy was, but I liked him. He was cool. I think, or
do you
wait,
not
that's a lie.
recognize him from the Old
The old-
Spice
That's
commercials?
literally what I was about to say. Except from the Old Spice, I typed in the chat. Is this the Old Spice guy?
Yeah, he
Like,
He looks a lot like Night Panther. Just saying. Okay.
Alistair Black was also on the show. This is all I've got for the show, by the way. Rick Boogs and Alistair Black, because nothing else happened.
I liked the return. Just hated that it was during a match and it caused the finish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Alistair Black, by the way, looks shredded.
He does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we also talk about the fact that he's got the cane contacts in? Like one of his eyes is normal,
Yeah,
and the other
which
like
is
like
good
burn up or
storytelling,
whatever.
because isn't that's the eye that Rollins screwed up, right?
Oh my God, you're
wow.
right. It is.
Wow. Okay. Yeah,
I
that's
completely
cool.
forgot about that.
If Alistair's putting long storytelling into his own hands, oh my God, good for That's really cool. That's true.
What a
That's really-
fiend.
So, on this day,
Rey Mysterio
I
should have
see
did that.
clearly that in Tokyo, Japan, in 1984, NWA World Heavyweight Champion Kerry Von Erich fought Jumbo Tsuruta to a double
go, Daniel.
countout. I'm not offending people. On the same card of the double main event, Harley Race defeated Ric Flair. You see that?
Woo!
We've done parkour there. We're on this day in wrestling now. This is for the 22nd of May. This is going out on the 23rd, but we recorded it on the 22nd, and it makes sense. 1989, Lex Luger defeated Michael Hayes to win the NWA United States Championship. This would be the longest NWA US title reign in history at 523 long, strenuous days.
Yee.
1992, Brian Lee defeated Paul Orndorff via disqualification in the finals of a one-night tournament to become the first ever Smoky Mountain Wrestling Heavyweight Champion.
Let's
Oh,
go,
wow.
Smoky Mountain.
Shouts out to Smoky Mountain.
For sure, man. 1994, WCW presented Slamboree, a Legends reunion at the Civic Center in Philadelphia. 4,000 people were in attendance, and there was 105,000 pay-per-view buys.
Now, Daniel, tell us why this pay-per-view is somewhat significant.
This was you're reading the doc, man. Please stop setting me up. This was the last pay-per-view before Hulk Hogan debuted.
Oh, what?
And nothing ever went wrong.
Nothing
Notable
ever
matches
worked
from the card
forever.
include Steve Austin defeating Johnny B. Bad to retain the WCW US Championship. Dustin Rhodes defeated Bunkhouse Buck in a bull rope match. Ric Flair defeated Barry Windham to retain the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. And in the main event, Sting defeated Vader to win the vacant WCW International World Heavyweight Championship. The title was vacant after Rick Rude's win versus Sting in Tokyo was overturned. Sting had refused the title, meaning it was vacant. Rick Rude had actually suffered a career-ending back injury. So, we move on a year, 1995. Jeff Jarrett defeated Razor Ramon to win the WWF Intercontinental Championship. He lost the title just 3 days earlier in a ladder match in Montreal.
Ain't that great?
That's an interesting city, Montreal.
I feel bad for JEFF, JARRETT. That sucks.
I know, but it's okay. It goes up from here. 5 years later on Nitro, Ric Flair was stripped of the WCW World Heavyweight Championship by Vince Russo. In the main event, JEWF JARRETT took a W and defeated Razor Ramon to win the vacant world title. This was the 4th WCW championship change this month.
Dude, last week sucked for Jeff Jarrett. This week's great.
Yeah. This, great day to be JEWF JARRETT. And on Raw in 2000, nothing happened. I'd like to say here, I've written in my notes, I tried to pick something out from Raw for the sake of fairness to the Fed, but nothing particularly interesting happened.
Nice.
In 2001, at a SmackDown taping, the two Chris's, Jericho and Benoit, defeated Edge and Christian, the Dudley Boys, and the Hardy Boys in a TLC match to retain the WWF Tag Team Championship titles. Chris Benoit suffered a neck injury and underwent fusion surgery shortly after.
And nothing bad ever happened with Chris Benoit ever again.
Nothing bad ever came from that fusion surgery. In 2002, TNA/NWA announced that they had signed Mike Tenay to be their lead announcer. Tenay was lead announcer on all of their events until late 2014.
What a good.
Nice.
2005, Judgment Day from the Target Center in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Important matches include Rey Mysterio defeating Eddie Guerrero via
Oh
DQ.
my god. This was today?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is such a I love this match, man. And their whole rivalry is so great too. The whole 2005 like from
Hold on, why is my phone ringing? Close that. And then John Cena defeated John Bradshaw Layfield in an I Quit match to retain WWE Championship.
That I Quit match.
And then 2011, I'd like to say, this list doesn't go past 2011 because, my God, I tried, but nothing interesting happened after 2011. Over the Limit, live from Seattle, Washington. Big Show and Kane defeated CM Punk and Mason Ryan to retain the WWE Tag Team Championships.
Mason Ryan?
Yeah, Mason Ryan. Randy Orton defeated Christian to retain the WWE World Heavyweight Championship.
What was that attempt at his theme?
Yeah.
Christian. I can't do it.
You sounded pretty damn good trying. John Cena defeated The Miz in an I Quit match to retain the WWE Championship. I'm speaking too fast.
Boy, Cena cannot lose. Cena cannot lose an I Quit match on this day, can he?
No, on this day, Cena took a dub. And then the main event of this card. Let me read this. Let me read verbatim what I've written.
Wait, this was the main event?
I believe so. My personal match of the night. Michael Cole versus Jerry Lawler in a Kiss My Foot match. If Lawler had lost, he would have had to surrender his Hall of Fame ring and personally induct Michael Cole into the Hall of Fame. If Cole lost, he would have had to kiss Jerry's foot. Michael Cole took an L, so he had to kiss one of Jerry Lawler's stinky trotters.
Oh,
God. I remember
Cena versus Miz was the main event. Lawler versus Cole was the match before this.
Was it? Oh, it was the main event in my heart.
This was one
that
of
would have been so funny if it was.
This is one of the periods in wrestling where I thought, man, do I want to watch this? Like early 2011, like early mid.
This is one of the periods in wrestling where it felt like a fever dream and an acid trip all in one.
This card just screams WWE 12.
Yeah, exactly. And then the only other notable thing on this day today would have been Brian Pillman's 59th birthday.
Oh man,
the Dark Side of the Ring episode was awesome about him. I
haven't been able to check it out yet. I haven't checked out any Dark Side of the Ring really. I'm not sure where to watch it in the UK. I'll need to have a look.
It's the Pillman episode's really good, especially like I didn't know much about him, or only like somewhat, but like wow, he really was one of the first people to like break kayfabe and get people asking what the fuck's going on. So that's cool. That was cool to see. And oh yeah, just Dark Side of the Ring in general is really cool. The Collision in Korea episode was last night, I think was it? Or no, Thursday. Sorry, 2 nights. And that was cool to see. Eric Bischoff gloat about how he pulled off a show in North Korea.
Oh boy! Oh wait, the North Korea show.
Yeah, Collision in Korea.
Oh, I
where,
remember this.
Scott Norton almost got shot or something. Yeah, and then he said he was
Oh,
in
I
a shithole
remember this.
country.
That was crazy. Shout out to Too Cold Scorpio.
Yeah, the fight. He talks about him and Hawk having a fight. Oh, it's wild.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. So this week, I just wanna say we're using Chops metrics again.
Oh boy.
There was an average from Anthony Choptano,
This is one of my favorite bits.
of 5.2 out of 10. This is including backlash.
Wow.
Without
Yeah, he
backlash,
gave
it drops to a stunning 4.5.
That's what I was expecting.
Yeah. Backlash was an 8.
Backlash was
Backlash
8.
was 8. Yeah.
With SmackDown was like a 2. Eh?
Yes.
Yeah, he gave SmackDown a 2. Raw got a higher rating than SmackDown.
Yeah, that's one of the first weeks in a very long time that's happened.
Then AEW got a 6, and I think NXT got a 7. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, NXT got a 7.
So, the next segment, Chris.
Oh
I'm gonna leave this one
yeah.
to you. Take it away.
It's that time again, ladies and gentlemen. This week's edition of Ranked. This is a really good one. Daniel came up with this one. No surprise, he always comes up with the bangers. Came up with last week's. Anyways, this week's edition of Ranked, top 5 match stipulation. Our personal top 5s. So
I already have
yeah.
my list.
Oh, okay. That's a
Yeah,
good
Jabroni
one.
will give you the time to think on this.
Yeah.
Daniel, go ahead.
Okay. I'm gonna start with number 5. I am a sucker for a good last man standing match. When done correctly, where they really draw it out, I am a sucker for a good last man standing match. When like notable ones that come to mind, I think they all involve John Cena. The one where he goes through the floodlight, the one where he ties up Batista with the duct tape. Those were bangers. Yeah, good match. If done correctly, very good.
Yeah.
My number 4, a Hell in a Cell.
Fair.
Again, sucker for a good Hell in a Cell match. When I think good Hell in a Cell matches, I think everyone that the Undertaker's been in, really.
Except for the CM Punk one from 2009.
We don't talk about that.
That was just a squash. It felt like a squash.
Batista versus Triple H is one of my all-time favorite Hell in a Cell matches.
Same.
Yeah.
The end of an era Hell in a Cell match for me will always be one of my favorite matches.
And Hell in a Cell match of all time: Undertaker versus Big Boss Man.
Is that the one where Undertaker lynched Big Boss Man?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. And also, I might be controversial here saying this because I've said it like 4 times already. Banks versus Becky. Hell in a Cell. What was it? 2018. I want to say
2019.
2019. Hell of a match.
Yeah, not wrong. I totally agree. That match was awesome.
Number 3. Should I do the voice? Chris, you can see what my number 3 is, right? Should I do the voice?
Do it. Why not? Do it.
War Games! So, War Games is number 3.
That was...
War Games is number 3, everybody. Number 2, TLC. But specifically tag team TLC matches. I love those. My number 1 is a good old-fashioned 3 Stages of Hell match.
Yeah.
There's been so few of these through history, like I could probably count them on my hands. But I love them. They're so good. Yeah, my honorable mention for this list, by the way, is anything on a pole. Anything on a pole. If the match title has on a pole match, I'll watch it. Shouts out to Vince Russo.
Daniel knows how to work that pole.
Thanks. Thanks for ratting me out to everybody here. You're next.
Welcome. Oh yeah. So
I don't know if it's just me. Chris,
No.
Chris, your mic keeps lagging out. I don't know if it's just me or not.
No, it is.
yeah, I
actually,
disconnected at one point when you were saying your number 2.
All right, okay, that's good. You got the war games. I'm glad.
Yeah, I heard the War Games and I cut out right after. Did you hear me say shout out to William Regal?
No.
Then that's where I cut out. Okay, so my honorable mentions. My first one is actually a submission match. I feel like it's really interesting watching submission matches because they really bring out the technical side of wrestlers.
Yeah.
That's how they. I specifically remember there's a special kind of submission match. It was a Falls Count Anywhere submission match, I believe. It was from Hell in a Cell 2010. It was for the U.S. title. It was between Daniel Bryan, The Miz, and John Morrison.
Oh.
Excellent match.
I think I remember that. Yeah, that was a good match. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, and my other honorable mention is the Elimination Chamber.
Okay.
The Elimination Chamber, there aren't any bad ones, but there have been really, really weak ones.
Oh yeah.
And of course, there have been really strong ones too. A lot of awesome moments have come from Elimination Chamber matches.
That one where Jeff Hardy like threw himself off the top of the cell, but from the inside. That one was memorable. Like the Elimination Chamber. I like that one.
All right, so those are my 2 honorable mentions. Number 5, the Iron Man match. Oh boy.
Okay.
I love a good Iron Man match. Doesn't matter if it's like a 30-minute, 60-minute. I prefer a 30-minute because 60 can be a little bit of a drag. But there have been some really good Iron Man matches in wrestling.
60-minute is like the Snyder cut of wrestling matches. I salute
Yeah.
anyone who can sit through it.
Oh God, Randy Orton versus John Cena.
Oh,
bragging rights 2009.
God.
Anyways, number 4.
I prefer to think HBK versus Brett when I think.
Iron Man matches.
For the 30 minutes, I prefer to think of Bayley versus Sasha Banks from Takeover Respect in 2015.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
For the 30-minute ones, and an example of the weaker 30-minute ones, and I hate saying this, but it's Rollins versus Ziggler from Extreme Rules 2018, and that was really because the crowd ruined it. That's really the whole reason why I thought that match wasn't as good as it could have been.
Everything.
Yeah, because they were doing the Rumble counter for like the timer, and I hated that. Number 4, I have a good old-fashioned steel cage match.
Oh yeah.
Gotta stick with the classics here. Steel cage matches have been around in wrestling for as long as anyone can remember, I'd say. It was like the first real like wrestling match stipulation to settle things. It's the most popular one, you'd say, if you don't like watch WWE or AEW specifically, but you just know that pro wrestling exists, you think of the steel cage.
It's one of the most accessible of these kinds of matches as well. Like indie companies can do a steel cage match. Like if you think of like I'd hate to say ICW is an indie company because they've kind of signed a deal with WWE. But if you think of like ICW, they can't get an elimination chamber, right? You'll never get an elimination chamber into the garage in Glasgow, right? But like, you can fit a steel cage, and they're just as entertaining. I enjoy a steel cage match very much. That's my 2 cents.
All right, yeah. All right, number 3. This is I don't know if this is gonna be a shocker or not, but number 3, I have the barbed wire death match.
Exploding ring or non-exploding ring variant?
Good question. We'll say with the exploding ring for now. That could change though. Doesn't matter. I love a good barbed wire death.
Say Chris, when you think of a bad barbed wire rope exploding ring match, which one do you think of?
I don't really know if I can think of a bad one, but I can think of I can think of a terrible explosion.
I can think of one.
I can think of a really bad explosion.
Yeah.
Number 2.
And they tried to play it off. It's fucking awful.
Yeah. Anyway. All right. Number 2. War
This is
Games!
gonna be good. War games.
Daniel, you had to start talking in the middle of it.
I apologize.
You always yell at me for cutting you off.
I'm sorry, man.
It's fine.
I
Yeah,
even
it
gave
doesn't
you a
matter.
William Regal in return.
Okay. But anyways, who doesn't love a good War Games match? War Games, Blood and Guts, same thing. Well, who cares?
Not really.
War Games
No,
is
Blood
awesome.
and Guts is like got the roof on it, which I think is better.
I imagine this is a knock on NXT, but after watching Blood and Guts, NXT, I find NXT to be more of the spectacular version of that, and
Yeah.
that's cool because it's cool every November. I like to watch them do their the flips and shit off the, and it does suck that Blood and Guts happened to have the Chris Jericho being pushed off the cage, but before that they were going for they weren't really doing much as for spots and stuff. That's where I consider War Games to differ.
Sammy Guevara was just dying at every turn.
Exactly,
Like,
except Sammy just throwing himself at everyone except but I really War Games. I'll get to mine later. But yes, sorry.
yeah. And then I just have one more. And then number one, the TLC match.
Yeah, it's a good show.
Yeah, TLC is my
really
number
good
one,
choice.
but it's a respectable number one. Come on.
Yeah.
TLC matches are
agree.
awesome.
I love a good tag team TLC match.
Oh
You
yeah.
think, Edge and Christian, the Dudley Boys, the Hardy
Throw in the
Brothers,
Hardys
of
and you've
course.
got
Can't forget
yourself-
the Hardys, yeah. Oh
The Hardys are
god,
basically the pioneers of it.
that one at what was it, WrestleMania? I want to say 17.
Yeah,
That
it
was-
was 17.
Oh, the one where Edge did a spear off the top of the ladder.
I love the
That spot, it feels like it's been used half to death as like a Twitter reaction gif, but I love it so much. Nothing will top
I would
that
argue.
for me. I think in terms of TLC
I'd argue that
match
that
moments.
spot, that Edge spearing Jeff Hardy from the top of a ladder, that I would say is one of the most iconic WWE spots ever.
Yeah,
Yes,
I'd agree with
for
that.
sure, definitely.
Fuck, that's a good ranked episode actually.
Yeah, that's got to be the best. That's got to be the best list I've ever had for an episode of
Mine shit. No, no.
Oh, go ahead, man. Honestly, can't be
Alright,
as
so
bad
number
as Chris's championship list. Oh yeah, guys, the ECW TV title. I love it so much, guys. Yeah, I better watch out. You might call me Braveheart again.
You might shoot on me again,
I'll
Cowboy.
shoot on you, cowboy.
Fuck.
Jabroni again, save us, man. This always happens.
Okay, but I'll go with I guess I'll go with some honorable mentions first. We got just a straight up 2 out of 3 falls match, especially if they're two really good. Like first one comes to mind was Kushida and Santos. Like
Bro,
that one was really really good. I do like a good 2 out of 3 falls match. The Lions Den, or what do they call it in NXT now? Fight Pit, the Fight Pit.
the
Fight
fight
Pit,
pit. Oh, I forgot
Yeah.
about the fight pit. Shoot,
I really
throw
like
that
that.
on as an honorable mention for me.
I really like the thought of that, and it was really cool when I was watching the Attitude Era back a couple years ago, and then it was really cool to hear when NXT brought it back, and the match was awesome. And as well, another honorable mention is the Championship Scramble. I really like going back to rewatch it.
Oh,
It's
another
a
good
really-
one.
It's a fun. It was really innovative at the time. I really liked the idea of it. I don't know if it's done recently or not, but I really like the idea. And plus, plus it gave us that Brian Kendrick, current WWE champion, screenshot forever. So gotta love that. But so for 5, I guess I'll go with just a straight up ladder match. Like yes, it's a good go-to, especially if it's done really well. Like first
Very
one that comes
fair.
to mind is was it 6-man for the crown the inaugural NXT North American champion. That was a really
Boy, that's a really fun match to think of.
yeah, especially where are they now? Just
Yeah.
Jericho versus Sean. Was it No Mercy? That's a really good one. Even though I don't
Yeah.
really like to talk about Shawn Michael ladder matches, but that is a good one. First couple that come to mind, and then for 4, I have Elimination Chamber. One of the stipulations, I can literally just hop on the network and go watch any match. My favorite would have to be off the top of my head, it would have to be the New Year's Revolution one with Cena, but I guess that would have to be more of the moment that where Cena's fighting his way through the end, just to have Edge cash in. At first, I didn't like the new chamber, but it's growing on me.
I still don't like it.
It's
I'll always prefer the circular one.
I can't go wrong with just having people bump on solid steel because that's what I loved about it. But at the same time, I do like
It's
the
the
new
same
the new
attitude as
master.
like it's a watered down version of the attitude of like, well, why
That's what
can't
I
they just
think
hit
about
each
it
other with
too.
chairs anymore? Like
Yeah,
it's
that's what I
I
think
do
about it
want
too. Yeah.
you can water it down to I do want to see people get hurt.
That's the like that's the flip side of that new chamber. It looks like the look of it has grown on me, but then I'll see them bump onto
It looks way more
padding.
rugged than the circular one, but then you look at it the inside and it's all padded and horrible.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
just hurt yourself, damn it.
Come on, man, you're going in this. Come on, why don't you just? I want to see some full back
The
bumps on some
elimination
steel.
chamber is meant to be like they always use the tagline for both Elimination Chamber and Hell in a Cell that like no one ever leaves the same.
Exactly. I don't like if
But
you
you leave more comfortable because if you've been out of the ring, you've had to sleep, you've had to
you
rest
bounce
on
up.
padding.
Yeah, you bounce up. That's the bad thing about it. Like the outside of it, when it's like showing the pods and stuff, like and then like the real they're all also dramatic. Who's gonna enter next thing? Like I like
Oh,
when they
the little sky shot thing.
yeah, that gimmick. I like looking at the pod with that. It looks cool. But you're right when that's the flip side of it when you're going on the
They got to
inside.
use that above camera angle more often.
So agree. Our AEW has that Sting picture I love where it's just Sting looks like why the fuck did I do this again? After Brian Cage
How
took
much are they
that belt.
paying me
Lucha-
again?
Lucha
Tony, should I
Underground
have some
also
more
did it
money?
really well.
It's they use it for not the Hell in the Cell the Elimination Chamber, and they don't use it ever again. I really
Yeah,
love that camera angle.
it is a nice.
I like old ladder matches where they'd cut to that camera angle
Yeah.
back in like the early 2000s. That was hell. Yeah. Anyway, let's continue with your list.
So that was the Elimination Chamber, and then so I guess what was my 4? So yeah, I guess maybe 3 would go with I guess it'd be Hell in a Cell. But it's kind of I guess I'd flip. Well, too late. But yeah, I like Hell in a Cell matches, but I hate that it's a gimmick pay-per-view now, as probably you guys don't like. But it's just it watered down the need or the Hell in a Cell pay like the actual need for it so much.
I
Like
feel exactly the same about Money in the Bank.
and that as well. Yeah, like I didn't even think about that, and that's probably why because it's one of those pay-per-views where it just happens and
It's like a
okay.
marketable thing now. I miss
Exactly.
when Money in the Bank was just like a nondescript black briefcase. There was a match
Edge
at WrestleMania.
celebrating
Now
at
it's a marketable toy.
Edge
That new
celebrating at
briefcase
the end
is
of 21.
that's the briefcase version of the spinner belt. That's
Yes.
made to be a toy.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Fuck my friend bought one and he doesn't and he
I bought one at a live event only
He
because
did too.
it was like what $20 cheaper than it was online, and I'm like, well,
like it's goodbye.
I carried around my DX T-shirt in it when I was at the event. It was brilliant.
God,
Just the right size for the tour program.
Opening up when you're sitting down. All right, here we go. Ready to go. What's going on tonight?
I could have fit a slice of pizza in that. Now I think about it.
Do you want a bag? Nah, just put it in here.
No, I'll put it in my $60 briefcase. It's gold. I don't care. I'll take this to the boardroom.
All right, gentlemen, got some big business today. Open up the briefcases, throw yours on the desk.
The stocks are down 60%, but my briefcase is swagger.
Other news, you guys like my briefcase?
Yeah. Oh man.
Where was I? Oh yeah, Hell in a Cell. Yeah, Hell in a Cell, great match. Batista, like I said, Batista versus Triple H, one of my favorites, if not my favorite.
Oh man, that was a
Recent
bloody match.
Yes, it was, especially that Batista. I loved how Batista came out in white too. Like, oh,
Yeah, yeah. Batista was. He knew he was bleeding.
yeah, he knew what was gonna happen, so he's like, yeah, why not? Then like newer ones, of course, the Usos versus New Day. That's one of the best ones of
Yeah.
recent. I did enjoy Jeff Hardy versus Orton, like, and
Oh,
but
the one where Orton brought out the screwdriver.
that's mainly why. Yeah, just but like I said, I really hope that.
What was that? Chris, when I mentioned the screwdriver spot, did you let out like a little roar? That was no. I'd
I
like to
tried
say
doing the
as
Booker
well.
T, but I'm eating a pretzel, so it came out really wrong.
WWE has been really up on those like face jewelry spots. Like they did the Batista nose ring, and they did the Jeff Hardy earring thing twice. Like, please WWE, stop messing with people's face jewelry. Like, it looks painful. Anyway, what's your what is it number 2 now?
I think it's number 2. Yeah. I just threw these in a list, so I'm just kind of I'm just ranking them how I remember the matches. Number 2 is just Royal Rumble, just a good old. I usually end up.
Ooh, I forgot about the Rumble.
I like one every like. There's usually one I'll end up liking now. If there's one or two a year, there's usually one I'm gonna end up enjoying, if not
The
both.
last few years for me, it's been the women's match because I'm exactly the same. I'll tend to enjoy one more than the other. Usually, it's the women's match. Like the last few years, it's been anyway.
Same, exactly. Yeah, I've been enjoying the women's match as well. Like, would be the 2021 with the Edgerton. Like, that was what I really mainly remember from that Rumble.
Yeah,
Besides, I guess, and Brock going off, and or was that same year? Or that the year before? Either way, that's also a Rumble memory I remember. Is Brock going
ooh,
off.
big boy.
Yeah, ooh, big boy. Who the fuck
Yeah.
is this guy? And just,
Ooh, big boy.
Classic Brock moment.
number 1 is an I Quit match. I've have
Oh,
the
fair.
I could go back to pretty much any I Quit match that the Feds has put on, and I'll enjoy it, give or take.
Again, Cena Batista.
Yes, I did like that one. I like as far as like and like especially like good Cena's good in I Quit match as well. Don't you
That
think?
was one. I'd like to talk about that Cena Batista match. That was one of the first times I realized wrestling wasn't real. You see when he's up on the car at the end, right? And Batista goes, I quit. Cena turns to him and says, I'm going to drop you now.
Yeah.
And I clocked it at like, what, 5 years old? And I'm like, no!
What? Wait, he said something. That was the same with me when I seen Triple H miss a knee or his knee drop. Like, wait. He did that on purpose. No.
It's over. The boyhood dream has not come true.
But like they get for recent memory and I Quit matches, they're all right. But like the earlier ones, I really enjoy them.
Yeah, you think like late 2000s I Quit matches, they were brilliant.
Exactly. One I love is Chavo versus Ray on just a SmackDown. Like that was like what like I think the ending was where Chavo beat Ray's knee to a point where Ray said I quit. And then that was one of the things where I was a kid. I was like, wow. It's like that's wild. That's
Hey,
wild.
if you want to see a really good I Quit match, then you should tune in to BCW Survivor Series Faction Warfare this Friday, where you will see Jon Moxley defend the BCW World Heavyweight Championship against former champion Tyler Breeze. I Quit match is going to be awesome.
All that, yeah, and all that was just a segue to BCW. Let's go. But yeah, I guess those would be my top 5 off the top of the head. Of course, think about it as time changes, but hey, that's ranked. Got to go with the flow.
I went and checked the dates, by the way. I was 6 years old. Over the Limit 2010 when the I Quit match happened. My dreams were shattered at 6 years old.
And from there on,
Shattered
life is
dreams,
easy
you
to
say?
So I think that's about everything we had to talk about this week.
Yeah.
Have I missed anything that happened this week? Or
I think we've covered everything.
I think we've covered everything. Thank you for coming on, Jabroni.
Yes.
As always, when you
Thanks
come
for
on,
having
hell of a show. We look
Glad to
forward
be
to
here.
having you on at episode 20.
Oh yeah,
Um,
this is the gimmick now. This is the
Yeah. So thank you for watching. If you did enjoy, leave a like, subscribe, comment even. Or even if you didn't enjoy, comment. Tell us how much you hate us. An engagement is an engagement.
We're looking at you, Alex.
Yeah. Love you, Alex. Yeah.
Nah.
Send this to your friends if, unlike Alex, you have any. Like, comment, subscribe, and I think
Actually,
I said
no,
all
I
the
got a
things.
bone to
Have
pick.
I
If you
chilled
like
enough?
soccer, please don't subscribe.
Yeah, if you like, no, I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it.
All
I
right, then
might
I'll say
upset
it.
some
If you
people.
like soccer, don't subscribe to us. Daniel's just gonna censor me out.
Yeah, you know what? No, if you enjoy what we the Brits know as football, don't subscribe. We don't want your kind here. Is that? Did I do all right, Chris? Did I?
Yeah, that's good.
Did I? Can I have a cookie now?
I think you've had enough of them.
Oh!
Boy, I'm wanting to talk, aren't I?
Hot kettle, brother. That's a shoot, cowboy.
Oh, this has been the Cobra Twist. Thanks for tuning in. See you next week.
I know. If I was out there right now, I would boo me too. I know. But this goes way back. This goes back when Ali got hurt and Kofi got an opportunity and he stepped up and he knocked it out of the park. And it should have been me. Kofi jumped through hoop after hoop after hoop, and he walked in and he ran the gauntlet, and after 11 long years, 11 years of earning everything, he became an overnight success, and it should be me. Kofi walked into the chamber. He walked into the elimination chamber, and he walked out the other side a star, and it should be me. He walked into WrestleMania to fight Daniel Bryan for the WWE title while I sat at home, and that should have been me. And on that night at WrestleMania, he was the better wrestler. He was the better man, and he won the WWE title, and it should have been me. And every day since becoming WWE champion, Kofi has outperformed every single critic, and he's earned it, and he's been a fighting champion, and you all respect him, and you all admire him, and it should be me. And that's why I did what I did. I had to. I had no other choice. In a Super Showdown, I'm going to beat Kofi for the WWE title, because I have to. And I will become WWE champion, and each one of you will admire me and respect me, and you will love me. Your WWE champion.